In this video I'm going to show you a selection of Petit-Fours and Pralines made from a ganache which is freestyle piped. The ganache for this needs to be of a firm texture and we're working on a ratio of 4 chocolate to 1 cream. I'm going to work directly now onto a plastic sheet which I've got on a baking tray. I'm using a plastic piping bag and I've just nipped off the bottom of the piping bag to give me a pencil line. The first item I'm going to pipe is going to be a pencil. So starting from one end of the plastic to the end, applying pressure again at one end of the piping bag, we just pipe out a straight line of ganache. Doesn't matter if it's irregular in shape, that will just give a bit more character to the finished product. So if we just do 2 of these all the way down. Taking the same bag now with the ganache in, I'm just going to trim it back a bit, and now I'm going to pipe a log. So same again, straight lines all the way down. From the same bag, now I'm going to pipe little truffles. Try and get them more quite uniform. And it doesn't matter if you get them too pointed, because we're going to resolve that problem when we come to shaping them later. What we need to do with this ganache mixture now is leave it 2 to 3 hours in a refrigerator to firm up before we would then cut them and then mould them prior to enrobing. Here's another interesting petit-four using croquant discs and muslin mix. Just take the muslin mix, soften it down into a piping bag and just pipe it directly onto your croquant discs. Then taking another disc and just placing that on top, like so, and then just pressing it down so we're forming a little sandwich. Then what we do with these, we refrigerate them until they're fully set and the discs are held together. Then we dip them in chocolate. What I'd like to show you now is spaghetti lollipops. For this we need to have strips of plastic which we're just going to lay on a tray. The advantage of the plastic is it's going to give you a nice shine. Then we've got 2 different types of chocolate in a piping bag with the end just nipped off, but you want a thin flow of pipe. So working on each one of these now, making sure there's a gap between each piece of plastic. Don't follow any set pattern. We just pipe the chocolate onto the plastic. So you can do white ones and then just quickly just top them with a dark chocolate. Or we can just go for one colour. Before it sets, we take the lollipop stick and we just drop that into the chocolate. And what you can do, just to give them a bit of added stability, is just cap the top of the lollipop off. Before the chocolate goes off, we can use toffee crumb just to give it another texture and a bit of a bite and flavour. I've got a sugared almond here which we're going to put over the other one. And then what we do with these then, into the refrigerator, let them set off, and then just peel the lollipops off the plastic. So on one side you're going to have this rough texture. On the underside, which has come off the plastic, you're going to have a lovely shiny finish. I've just taken these now from the refrigerator. They've been in there 10 minutes or so. Just touching the top of them. I can feel that the chocolate is set. And then all we do then is just gently peel them away from the plastic. So that's the chocolate lollipops. Another technique you can use is taking the ganache and putting it in a piping bag with a fluted nozzle and using it to decorate shell work. The ratio I'm working here is once again 4 chocolate to 1 cream. We've allowed it to cool down the ganache, and then we beat it when it's cold to get it nice and smooth and malleable, ready for piping. So looking at the shell now, we've got the piping bag, taking the ganache, and we start piping shell work all the way around. The same on the other side, bringing it to the end of the shell and then finishing it off then with a bit of piping there and possibly a bit of piping at the front there. Place it now in the fridge. After approximately about 1 hour, you'll find that the ganache will have set, and that'll be a lovely presentation box for serving all your pralines and your petit-fours. Right, what I'd like to show you now is 2 piping techniques that you could use for desserts. The first one, I've just taken a plastic bowl and I've just wrapped cling film around the actual bowl itself and pushed it underneath. The second one is just a piece of acetate itself. From taking tempered chocolate in a piping bag, I'm now going to spin this over the plastic bowl, making it quite thick. On the acetate strip, I'm doing the same there. So what we do now, we just carefully lift the acetate strip off the table. I'm just going to pass this to Len, who's just going to drop that now in the fridge for it to set off. So just taking the strip now, and I'm taking some white tempered couverture, and I'm smearing that now over the feathered chocolate strip, and then just gently pallet it out, lifting it up at one end, bring it together into a teardrop, and then taking the Jubilee clip or bulldog clip just to hold it together. So you can see now you've got that design of the dark chocolate with a white background. We're going to allow that to set off. When that's set, we could drop a bit of sponge in the bottom and then just fill it with a nice mousse for a dessert. And that's a teardrop of chocolate. Let's now look at some of the products that we piped earlier. First of all, we did the little chocolate lollipops, as you can remember, where we did dark chocolate and we did a mixture of white chocolate, just piped out randomly with toffee crumb on it, etc., and then stuck the lollipop in. You can see the lovely shine when it's come off the plastic. Ideal these to serve as a petit-four, so we could have those in a tray, probably stuck into something, and then the rest of the petit-fours around it. Then we moved down to the little bolt we made, where once again we used a ganache for a different technique of piping and embellishing the actual shell. Once again, you can imagine a few petit-fours being put in there, and we could even put the little lollipop stick in it as well. A nice little presentation box. As we move down, we've got piping techniques that can be used for desserts. The one we did here, we just took the cling wrap over a plastic bowl and then just randomly piped the chocolate over. And then if you just remove it, you've got now a little chocolate nest there where you could serve a sorbet in, a selection of sorbets as a dessert. The one here where we piped and then enrobed it with white couverture, if I just take away the clip, it's still got the plastic on, believe it or not, but look at the beautiful shine you get when you take that plastic off. Let's look at the piped, lined and bowls of ganache that we piped earlier. We've allowed these to set off in the fridge now, and as you can see, they're quite solid. All we do with these is just take a warm knife and just cut through, so you've got the little matchsticks, which we'd enrobe in chocolate. Then we've got the logs, and then we've got the piped ganache, which we're going to use for the truffles. And when we come around to using these for the truffles, we're going to shape them, then dip them in chocolate, and then coat them in various other products. So there we have a nice array of piped chocolate items.